We got another project for you today, so we're going to saddle up on our company vehicles and head up there and we'll show you what we got going. Alright guys, we are getting ready to head up and take a look at this job. You can see I got my company vehicle saddled up here. I currently don't have a truck. I sold my other one and I'm trying to figure out what to do for a new one. So we're going to ride these up there. Luckily it's just a couple blocks up the street. We're going to ride these up there, me and McCoy, and take a look at this job. We'll show you what we got going. Hopefully the Trailblazer isn't too much for Little Red, so let's ride up there, we'll take a look and show you guys what we got going. Alright guys, so here's what we got. We'll bring you in close and give you a good look at what's going on here. This weld is completely peeled off the surface that they tried to weld to. There's like zero penetration. You can tell that it was a wire feed machine and it just didn't have enough penetration. So because it's so close to the concrete, I can't get the stick rod up in there and get a proper weld. So my plan is to take and cut all this off, clean it off, grind it smooth back to the factory dimensions. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and cut our square piece on the burn table. It's got the holes in it, so it'll have the whole pattern already laid out. And then it will be just on the OD of this, and I'll be able to do an open corner weld from the top here with the Trailblazer. We'll just run 7018 332 and it should be good as new. So if you look over here at the hoop, you can see it didn't penetrate at all. And luckily it didn't fall on one of their kids. It's got some ears on it. So we may have to do the same thing here and break some ears. I'm also not sure why they didn't center this. So looking at it now, you can see they welded ears on it, or tried to, and they're broken. But it may help when you go to set it up because it is quite heavy. Alright, somewhere between home and here, I lost my notepad. So, found a piece of garbage. I'm just going to write these dimensions down on this piece of garbage. 7 inches. It is 3/8 plate, which we have a whole slew of at the shop. I think it's probably just going to be easier to just burn a new one. I'm going to think about whether I want to put the ears on it or not. I'm pretty sure the ears were just on there so that you could hook it up and makes it easier to take up, take down. We'll think about the ears on our trip back to the house, but we'll go back to the shop and see if we can't get this drafted up. Okay, so we're just getting this drafted up here off of our handy little piece of garbage. Okay, so I just want to show you guys how impressed I am with the settings on this machine. This is the first time we've burnt 3/8 plate. I'm pretty dang impressed with the tolerances, with the quality of the cut. Okay, so these are 9/16 holes. I've got a 1/2 inch bolt here. And I mean, there is hardly any kerf in those holes. We got just a teeny tiny bit on the inside, but if you can see the cut in here, it is extremely square. You can see how smooth that is. I'm just very impressed. If you look at the back side, there is a little bit of dross on the holes here. I think my cut speed was a little slow. That's part of the learning curve with running the machine, is tweaking all the settings for different sizes of plate. This is just the factory settings that came set up on the table in the programming, and I'm not disappointed. Cut quality is awesome, but I do think it could be just a little bit better for stuff like the holes. So we'll tweak the settings. We're getting there, but I'll tell you what, you look at that edge. That is pretty impressive. All right, we're gonna get this cleaned up. We're gonna have to clean the inside here, get all the plasma slag off because we don't want any porosity. So we'll go ahead and clean this piece up, and then we got our other little ears here. A little bit of dross there. The start there had a little divot there. That was my fault. I should have fixed that. It's not a big deal because it's going underneath the plate. You'll never see it. So I gotta break this ear up. We'll weld these on the bottom of the plate, and then it should be good. The burn table's definitely coming in handy. I'm really liking how much time it's saving, and you're able to do stuff like this that makes it look a lot more professional, a lot cleaner. So we'll go ahead and try and break this, and then we'll clean that up. Then we got to get Little Red out here. We got to load the welder up and our gear and head up there and weld it on. So we'll give you guys an update when we get to that point. Alright, so we got these parts cleaned up, and I just want to show you guys something. Show you how good they turned out. Like I said, I did have that little nick there, but this is what it should have looked like. The edges look phenomenal. Pretty impressed with the accuracy and how smooth the cut is. So the specification on this machine is, this machine guarantees 15 thousandths of repeatability. So basically, you cut 15 thousandths, that's 15 thousandths right there. So you're just barely getting daylight. But I do want to show you how accurate it is. The repeatability means that you can cut multiple parts and they'll be within 15 thousandths of each other. So now I'm going to show you what the measurement is here. Okay, so if I take my calipers and I go right in the center, on this side there is a little kerf, but that is within 2 thousandths, and then if I turn it the other way, that one's also within 2 thousandths of an inch. I would say for 99% of jobs you're gonna do, that is plenty accurate. I'm gonna try breaking these now and we'll go from there. Alright, so we got our little ears broke here. They're gonna fit just like so. And I could tack them on now, but I think it's gonna be better if we wait. We're gonna start getting all our stuff loaded up. I'm gonna get the little truck pulled down here. We'll see if we can't get our welder loaded up and all the rest of our equipment, and then we'll head up there and get after it. I'm hoping that it's not so heavy that me and McCoy can drag it over there and then stand it up. So I think I'm going to take a couple hand trucks. We'll give you guys an update when we get up there.
It's time for today's Super cool tool.
Alright, so for today's super cool tool, we're going to be talking about these pack out boxes. This is the first one that I've purchased. I gotta say it's extremely handy. I like that I can just grab this box, throw it in the back of the truck, and go. And that's the whole reason that I bought one. I wanted to be able to set it up for mobile welding because at this point I don't have a trailer set up or a truck set up. So for me, I usually have to throw my welder in the back and then throw all my tools in the back seat or in the back of the truck or whatever. And this makes it extremely handy for me, and this is why. Because I've stocked it with levels, squares, tape measure, safety glasses, soapstone, markers, earplugs. I threw my power tools in just for this job. Some wrenches, sockets, grinding discs. So it's nice because I can just throw what I need in here and I'm on the run. This specific box, I believe, was $90. And if you start getting into the other boxes, you can stack them, they snap together. There's a stereo that'll snap to this. There's all kinds of options. I do think it is extremely handy, and even if you bleed yellow instead of red, I would still look into them. I know DeWalt makes some stuff like this, but I don't think it's quite as good as these are made. I like the system where you're able to snap the things together, and I like that it's got two different handles on it, and they snap in place. There's actually a set of rollers with a handle that I can snap this to, so if I want to roll it around, I've thought about getting that, but I want to see how this goes first. I got this one at Home Depot. Like I said, you're going to spend a little money on them, but in the long run, if you're using it in the same type of scenarios that I'm using it, I don't think you can go wrong. So that's going to be today's super cool tool. Let's get back to the project. All right, little Red is she's squatting a little. She's squatting a little bit, but it is still about an inch off the overload bumper, so I think we're okay. So we'll drive up there, see if we can't get this figured out. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is take a zip disc, cut off the old weld, clean it up, and get it prepped up for our new plate. So you can see right here, it's broken. There's one little break spot right there. So the first thing I'm going to do is try and build that back up to this same surface. It's probably going to look like crap on the inside right here, but I'm going to buff it flat on the outside so that I can just barely slip this plate over the top. It's really close right now, but once I'm done, I'll be able to slip it just barely over the top, and then we'll level this up. You can see that they didn't square this to the concrete very well. We may be able to twist it just a little bit and get it square. We'll pull a measurement off the line of the concrete to square this up. So we'll get this repaired and go from there. That down to like 70. We'll turn it down to 60. lucky for us, there's concrete all over these threads. Go grab the wire wheel and the grinder. They're still a little bit stuck in the threads. We're gonna see if it comes off easy or not. So if we go we take it on the inside, I think it's going to work. We do need to check our holes because it's looking like for some reason they're a little bit off. So I'm going to screw these back in, check. And we'll see if they fit. So we may have to cut these down just a hair. Okay, grab the hammer and the zip disc and grinder.
Okay.
Those are ready to be welded on. More like it. Now we're ready to unbolt this, get it set on there. We got to make sure that the ears go on that way. Otherwise the basketball hoop will be backwards. I'm going to try to be gentle here, but I'm going to try to chip some of this away. Okay, we don't have a real solid line to go off of here. Just try and square it up. The best we got is this line in the concrete. So we are going to try to fix it. I'm going to put one tack on it. Now I'm going to check it again. Okay, that's square. Now we got to check level. And we are not level. Of course my tack's on the wrong side, so I'm going to break my tack. And I'm going to put my tack on this other side. Good there. Good there. Now I'm going to put two more tacks on it, and we're going to check square again as well. because we've been moving it. We're still good square. Okay, let's see if we can't get 2 more tacks. I am going to weld this side first because it's just leaning just a hair that way. And if I weld this side first, it should pull it just a hair. Fire in the hole.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise.
Alright guys, that's it. Hopefully you guys can see it. Now, gotta get the hoop in place and stand it up. We got the hoop done. Now all that's left to do is shoot some hoops. No, we're gonna go home. It's hot. So, appreciate you guys watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you on the next one. So that's kind of this. That's part of this. So I did look up the specs that came on the. All right, so we got our little. Son of a bitch, that's annoying. I threw my power tools in. No. The dial. The dial. The dial. Yeah, turn it down to 70. Hey, 70. 70. You pushed something.